Okay, hi guys. So we have a lot of pending images to be discussed. So we will take up one of those images and start off. So what is that image that I'm going to discuss with you today? Yes. So this was the image that I had given to you a couple of days ago, and we are going to discuss this one. So what do you notice in this image? What do you notice in this image? Yeah. So you can see something, and I gave you a clue. You look at the color of the eyes. Okay, you look at the color of the eyes. So are you looking at the color of the eyes, and is there a difference in the chromia or the chroma color? Difference, heterochromia. So one is a little lighter and the other is a little darker. Yes? Yes, very good, Preci, heterochromia. Now, the next question is it heterochromia iridis or iridum? What is iridis? See, very simple when you look at this. You know there is heterochromia of the iris, but whether it is iridis or iridum, how do you go about it? See, take that S, iridis. Iridis means within the same iris, there is a difference in color between different parts of the iris. Is that clear? Now, if you look at, I just told you heterochromia iridis. So this one, you know for sure that this is not heterochromia iridis, because if you see this one, completely same color. That is the reflection from the cornea. Okay, you all use the ring lights, no? So somebody use the ring lights, and that's the reflection from the cornea. So you see the entire color of the iris is the same, and on the other side also it is the same. So this is heterochromia iridum. Okay, iridis is within the same eye, within the same iris. If there are different areas with different patches, different color patches, that is heterochromia iridis. Now this one is heterochromia iridum. iridum. Got it? Yes. Now you might ask me, ma'am, is this hypochromia or hyperchromia? I don't know, because I do not have the background. Now, if I assume this is a Caucasian person, okay, he is a European. So if it's a European or a Caucasian descent, this is a normal color for them. Usually this is the normal color. So if this is considered normal, then this would be hyperchromic, darker. Okay. Or if you take the Indians or North Indians, especially South Indians, generally have a darker, very dark iris, black one like mine. If you consider this is normal, then with respect to this would be hypo, lighter colored iris. Okay. So definitely this is heterochromia iridum. Now considering whatever, so heterochromia iridum is of two types. So two types. One is hypochromia, that is a lighter colored iris, and hyperchromia, darker colored iris. Okay. So we'll first see hypo, lighter colored iris ka causes. Number one, albinism. Very easy. Albinism, there is lack of pigment all over the body. So it could be a generalized albinism or an oculocutaneous albinism. Okay. So albinism. And then there is a syndrome called Waardenburg syndrome. Okay, Waardenburg syndrome, the iris is lighter colored. Overall also lighter colored. And congenital honors. So when you have congenital honors, whichever side there is honors syndrome, congenital honors, that side it would be lighter colored. Okay, congenital honors. Number 4 is Fuchs heterochromic iridocyclitis. Now Fuchs heterochromic iridocyclitis, if the patient is originally lighter color iris, like for a Caucasian or a European person, when this person develops Fuchs heterochromic iridocyclitis, suffers from that, this lighter colored iris will appear more darker. So it would be hyper, but I'm giving you hypo causes, no? So hypo, let's say somebody like our Indians develop Fuchs, this eye develops Fuchs, it would become lighter colored. It would become hypochromic. Okay. So hypochromia, 1, albinism. Number 2, Waardenburg syndrome. Number 3, congenital honors. Number 4, Fuchs heterochromic iridocyclitis. Okay. Now, if we are talking about hyperchromia, that is darker colored iris. Now, darker colored iris, again, we'll start with Fuchs. Fuchs can be either hypo or hyper. So, if initially the color, original color is lighter, as I said, then it would become darker because of the stromal atrophy. You can see the posterior pigment epithelium ka melanocytes also, the melanin there. So that's why it appears darker. Yeah. So one is, as I said, Fuchs heterochromic iridocyclitis. Number 2, when there is rubeosis iridis or neovascularization of iris. Yes, because the blood vessels are very fragile. The new vessels are very fragile because they are abnormal vessels. They will leak blood, and from the blood the hemosiderin will deposit on the iris, giving it a darker color. Number 3, iron toxicity. So suppose I have an iron foreign body in the eye, which is called siderosis bulbi. It can release the ions, the ferrous ions, which will go and deposit on the epithelium. Okay, iron always has an affinity for epithelium. So now it will go and deposit on the iris epithelium and give it a darker rusted color. Okay, and number 4, in Sturge-Weber syndrome. Sturge-Weber syndrome, on that side, whichever side is the Sturge-Weber syndrome, again hyperchromia of iris. Then in nevus of Otta, so when you have nevus of Otta, you remember the oculodermal melanocytosis where you have blue sclera, then you can have a hyperchromia of iris and pigmentation along the distribution of V1 and V2, ophthalmic and maxillary dimension of trigeminal nerve. Nevus of Otta, also known as oculodermal melanocytosis. So in that case also, on that side, there can be a hyperchromia of iris. Or even you have a iris melanoma or melanocytoma, definitely. Yes. So iris melanoma or melanocytoma, not only will you have hyperchromia of the iris, not only that, you will also have heterochromia iridis, because there will be certain areas which are normal color, certain areas where there is melanotic melanoma of the iris where it will be darker in color. Okay, so these are the hyper and hypochromia of iris, because those of you who joined late, so we are discussing about this image where one eye is darker, iris is darker, and the other is lighter, which is called heterochromia iridum. Iridis means when there is a difference in color within the same eye, same S to S. Okay, iridis S, same S. Within the same eye or same iris, you have different colors, color patches. That would be heterochromia iridis. Now this was heterochromia iridum. So this was a question that I shared on my Instagram handle. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Yes, very good, Vinod, very good, Presi. All right, so one image, we are done. So we will stop here because I don't want the session to go mute when I start a glaucoma quiz discussion. So glaucoma quiz discussion, we will start at 9 p.m. sharp. Okay. And similarly, we'll start tomorrow at 8:30, one image, because we have some pending images. And today in Instagram, I put a nice reel, 2 reels, okay, which are, one is about squint classification, especially for people who are doing your MBBS. It will be very, very useful. Just listen to it, because they will ask you classify squint, and then you know that question has subtypes, sub questions, so it will be very easy. Just listen to that and just watch it the way I've taught you there. It's very easy for you to draw that flow chart. And another one was one of the cutting edge technology that has come up, so look up that also. We'll discuss probably next class. Okay, chalo, I'll see you at 9. Bye guys.